Let me ask you something. If you had $1,000 and a solid idea, do you think you could build a real business in the United States? Most people would say, probably not. They'd talk about competition, about capital, about needing connections. And honestly, I get it. The US market sounds intimidating from the outside, but here's the thing, every single year, over 5 million new businesses are launched in the United States. 5 million. And a good chunk of those are started by people with less experience, less money, and fewer connections than you have right now. So what do they know that you don't? That's exactly what we're going to unpack today. Let's start with the big picture, because understanding why the US market works the way it does is the foundation of everything else. The United States is the world's largest consumer economy. We're talking about a country where consumer spending accounts for roughly 70% of the entire GDP. People here buy a lot, and they buy constantly. But it's not just the volume, it's the culture. Americans have an incredibly high tolerance for new products, new brands, and new ideas. In many parts of the world, trust takes decades to build. In the US, if you solve a real problem, people will try you out. That's a massive advantage for anyone coming in with something fresh. Now here's something that surprises a lot of people outside the US. The American market isn't one market, it's 50. Each state has its own economic personality. Texas is booming with energy, tech, and logistics. California is still the undisputed king of innovation and entertainment. Florida is a gateway to Latin America. New York is finance and media. The Midwest is manufacturing and agriculture. The Pacific Northwest is outdoor culture and sustainability. What this means for you is that you don't have to compete everywhere at once. You can find your pocket, your specific geography, your specific niche, and dominate that before scaling. That's a strategy most newcomers completely ignore. They try to be everywhere. The smart ones pick one lane and own it first. All right. I've talked to hundreds of entrepreneurs who've built real businesses in the US market, from immigrants who arrived with almost nothing to online founders who never even set foot in America. And across all of those stories, 3 things keep coming up over and over again. I call them the 3 pillars. In the United States, being good is not enough. You have to be known for something specific. Think about this. There are thousands of coffee shops in America. But Starbucks doesn't just sell coffee. It sells a third place, not home, not work, somewhere in between. That positioning is worth billions. When you enter any market, product, service, SaaS, e-commerce, whatever it is, you need to answer one question with total clarity. Who am I for, and why should they choose me over everyone else? Yes, if your answer is everyone, you're already losing. The riches, as they say, are in the niches. A tax accountant for restaurant owners will always outperform a general accountant because restaurant owners feel like that person truly gets them. That's positioning. Here's a hard truth. A great product with bad distribution will lose to a mediocre product with great distribution. Every time. The US market is brutally efficient. Amazon has trained consumers to expect anything, delivered in 2 days. Shopify has made it so anyone can open an online store in an afternoon. The barrier to entry is low, which means the barrier to being seen is high. So when you're building or entering a business, the question isn't just, what am I selling? It's, how does this thing actually reach people? Is it organic social media, paid ads, retail partnerships, SEO, direct outreach, referrals? The most successful businesses I've studied don't just have one answer to that question. They have 2 or 3 channels that work in combination. Because if you're only in one place, one algorithm change, one policy shift, and you're gone. Build your distribution like you build your house, with more than one wall. This might be the most underrated one. American consumers are. They've seen every marketing trick in the book. They've been burned by bad products and broken promises. So when someone new shows up trying to earn their business, the first thing they're asking, consciously or not, is, can I trust these people? Trust is built through consistency, transparency, and social proof. reviews, testimonials, case studies, guarantees, being clear about what you do and what you don't do. Showing up the same way every single time. Brands that win long-term in the US aren't necessarily the flashiest, they're the most reliable, the most honest, the ones that do what they say they're going to do. That sounds obvious, but go look at how many businesses fail to do exactly that. Okay, so now let's talk about what not to do. Because honestly, watching people make avoidable mistakes is almost painful when you know what to look for. A lot of people see a business model that's working in Europe or Asia, and they try to copy-paste it directly into the US market, and they get crushed. Why? Because the US market has context. It has habits, expectations, and existing players that you have to account for. You can absolutely be inspired by what works elsewhere, but you have to localize, adapt, and understand who you're actually talking to. I see this all the time. Someone builds a beautiful product, launches it, and then discovers that getting their first 1,000 customers cost 3 times what they projected. In the US, especially in crowded markets, customer acquisition is expensive. If you haven't modeled your CAC, your customer acquisition cost, and you don't have a clear path to making that back through lifetime value, you will run out of money before you run out of good intentions. The United States has a sophisticated legal and regulatory environment, and it varies state by state. Things like employment law, tax obligations, data privacy, especially if you're dealing with California residents lookup CCPA, and industry-specific regulations can trip you up badly if you ignore them early. The good news? Setting this up correctly from the start is not that hard and not that expensive. A good business attorney and a good accountant early on will save you 10 times their cost down the line. Don't skip this step. This one is cultural. In many parts of the world, you don't launch until something is polished and ready. In the US, the philosophy is different. Launch fast, learn fast, improve fast. The market will tell you things about your product that no focus group ever could. Get something real in front of real people as quickly as possible, and then iterate like crazy. Done is better than perfect. Always. Now let's get into the fun part. Where are the actual opportunities in the US business landscape right now? I'm going to give you 3 areas that I'm genuinely excited about, and I'll tell you why. Opportunity 1. The service gap in secondary cities. Everyone talks about New York, LA, San Francisco. But some of the best opportunities right now are in places like Nashville, Austin, Raleigh, Tampa, Columbus, Denver. These cities are growing fast. They're attracting talent and capital. And they still have massive gaps in services, from specialty healthcare to premium food experiences to B2B services for the mid-market. If you can bring a high-quality offering to a mid-tier market before the big players get there, you can build serious market share with a fraction of the budget it would take in a major metro. Opportunity 2. The creator economy infrastructure. There are now over 50 million people who consider themselves content creators in the United States. That's a massive industry, and most of them are terribly underserved. They need tools, services, education, communities, financial products, legal help, mental health support. The creator economy is not just about being a creator. It's about building the infrastructure around them, the picks and shovels, as people say. During the gold rush, it was the people selling the tools who got rich. Opportunity 3. The B2B middle market. This is the one that flies under the radar the most. Everyone talks about B2C, consumer products, apps, retail. But the US has a massive middle market, businesses doing between $10 million and $500 million in revenue. These companies are often underserved by enterprise software and too sophisticated for off-the-shelf small business tools. If you can build a product or service specifically for this segment, whether it's software, consulting, logistics, HR, finance, the contracts are larger, the churn is lower, and the relationships go deeper. This is where some of the most durable businesses in America are being built right now, quietly, without a lot of headlines. Before I wrap up, I want to talk about something that doesn't get discussed enough when people talk about US business: mindset. The American business culture is relentlessly optimistic. Not naively, but fundamentally. There's a belief baked into the culture that if you work hard enough and smart enough and long enough, things can change. You can move up. You can build something from nothing. That's not just marketing. That belief system drives real behavior. It attracts talent. It draws capital. It creates resilience in founders when things get hard. And things always get hard. If you're going to operate in this market, whether you're American-born or coming from somewhere else in the world, you have to internalize that energy. Not the hustle culture version where you glorify burning out, but the genuine, deep belief that what you're building matters. That your customers deserve your best. That problems are solvable. That today's setback is tomorrow's lesson. The entrepreneurs who win in America aren't always the smartest. They're not always the best funded. But they are almost always the ones who refuse to quit when it would have been perfectly reasonable to do so. That's the real playbook. So let's bring this all together. The US market is massive, complex, and full of opportunity. If you understand the landscape, nail your positioning, build real distribution, earn trust, and avoid the classic mistakes, you have a genuine shot at building something meaningful here. Whether you're just starting to explore, or you're already in the middle of building the principles we talked about today apply. Now, here's what I want you to do. If you found value in this video, there's a lot more where this came from. Every week, I go deep on the strategies, stories, and frameworks that actually move the needle for entrepreneurs building in the US market. We talk about real businesses, real numbers, and real lessons, not the sanitized highlight reel you see everywhere else. Hit subscribe right now, it's free, and you can always change your mind, but I think you'll stick around. And if you have a question about your specific business, your industry, or your situation, drop it in the comments below. I personally read every single one, and I feature the best questions in future videos. The best time to start learning was yesterday. The second best time is right now. I'll see you in the next one.